We're going to take our feet and walk by the box offices of those movie studios that fail to recognize the contributions of black folk in America, because the dollar will talk louder than anything else. We're going to be heard from. We're going to raise enough hell until things get better. And we're going to show them, by God, they can't spend our money if they won't treat us with respect. That's our job, and I invite you to join us in getting that job done.
For the last 14 days, the ramifications of those words have reverberated through both the entertainment and black communities. Our reporter, Carolyn Craven, went to find out what was behind the harsh rhetoric. Carolyn?
Rona, we talked to some of the most influential black actors in television. Our intention was to try to find out how blacks who work in the medium perceive the roles they play on television series. You might think a report about racial stereotyping would begin in the 50s, but our research led us to one incredible moment on television just 13 years ago, which graphically illustrates the issue. The year is 1968. Petula Clark joins her guest, Harry Belafonte, center stage.
Blessed are the meek, they say, they shall win where others lose.
You're about to witness a moment that made television history. In this tender duet celebrating the unified human spirit, Clark gently touches Belafonte's arm.
Why should man be forced to kill?
Appalled that a white woman and a black man would be seen touching on network television, the ad man from the show's sponsor, Chrysler, demanded a retake. The program's producer and NBC refused. The ad man was fired. All agreed it was the racism from an era long before 1968.
First thing you know, a policeman gonna come up here and arrest both of them.
Don't you worry about a police. You get this thing fixed and get out of here. I'll take care of the police. Uh-oh.
1929, the year of the stock market crash. A country begging for comic relief welcomes two vaudevillians when they unpack their blackface routines into America's living rooms. A whole nation listens, but what it doesn't see is that radio's most beloved duo is played by two white men, creators Freeman Gosden and Charles Correll, or as most remember them, Amos and Andy.
Yeah, looked like his wife done beat him on the head so much his head done swole up on him.
Yeah, I guess the sunshine will do him good down here, don't you think so?
Yeah, I wonder how his wife feel about it.
Correll and Gosden hoped to continue their radio success on television, but the networks insisted on black actors, actors previously denied work who would ironically continue mimicking the white man's version of blacks. Nick Stewart, who played Lightnin', and Alvin Childress, who played Amos, remember those days.
I had one of these disc recorders. So I used that machine. I studied the show Amos and Andy from my recordings, and when I went to the audition, I read all the parts.
You see, it's funny. We had to imitate a white person imitating a black person in order to get on the Amos and Andy show. They taught us how to be black, how to mispronounce words and whatnot. Who the hell needs it? You understand?
Outraged by the white laugh track and the show's humor based on black stereotypes, the NAACP waged an 11-year battle to get the program off the air. In 1966, CBS finally bowed to pressure. In fact, you are not seeing an excerpt from Amos and Andy because since that year, CBS has refused to let any of the shows out of its vaults.
Oh, here we are. You started, Donnie, and Bill and I'll show you how it's done.
But Amos and Andy's huge success on television paved the way for more roles for blacks. There was the long-running Beulah series in which Hattie McDaniel, Ethel Waters, and Louise Beavers all played. Eddie Anderson was Rochester on the Jack Benny Show.
What's the matter, boss? You don't look good.
And Amanda Randolph played Louise in Make Room for Daddy. But their common bond was this: they were all servants. The breakthrough came in 1965, after the Civil Rights Movement. In I Spy, creator Sheldon Leonard teamed Robert Culp and Bill Cosby as tennis-playing secret agents.
We were proposing to bring Cosby into the white man's environment, the white man's hotels. That was, at the time, revolutionary. Very early on, I learned that the proper way to treat the use of Cosby was to forget that he was black, to ignore it.
However, in another breakthrough, Julia, color is not ignored. In it, Diane Carroll becomes the first black woman to star in a series about the black middle class.
That's your mother? Yeah. You know what? What? Your mother's colored. Of course, I'm colored, too. You are? Yeah. Oh, boy.
Frankly, you're not exactly what I expected.
No?
No, not from what I've read here.
Did you expect me to be older or younger? Has Mr. Colton told you?
Tell me what?
I'm colored.
What color are you?
I'm a Negro.
You always been a Negro, or you're just trying to be fashionable?
Julia was constantly attacked. Most of the shows that were on at that time really didn't have anything to do with reality. And we were just another one of those shows. I don't think anyone, when the show was publicized, I don't think any of the logos dealt with the fact that we were going to examine the black community. We were not. We made a half-hour situation comedy about a mother and a child who were black. And I'm quite proud of it as I think of it today.
In 1972, the year after Julia went off the air, the networks took a chance on the first black situation comedy since Amos and Andy, Sanford and Son.
Yes? Oh, I'm sorry. Deliveries are in the rear.
Listen, next thing he called us boy. Get on out of here, little punk.
Where did you get this?
What's it to you? Why do you ask? Well, you think we thieves? You think we stole it? Give him one, Lamont. Give him one across his lips.
The establishment has a concept of what a black should be. And in order for us, and the average black, when he reads a script to get a job in radio or television, he knows the black lifestyle that's demanded of him. And he tries to play that part. And we pass on these negative concepts to our youth. It's not the actors that's hurting, it's the people that's hurting.
Move on to the next thing. And the next thing is definitely, how do we correct it ourselves? How do we stop examining the fact that each time any one of us comes out of the box, that it is total representation for the entire race? That's a trap.